That flat grey sky can tell you a lot about the air just above your head. Stratus clouds form when moist air cools to its dew point close to the ground, then spreads out as a broad low layer instead of growing tall. The dew point is the temperature where air can no longer hold all its water vapor. Once the air reaches that point, water vapor condenses into tiny liquid droplets, and those droplets make the cloud you can see. Stratus is a low cloud, often with a base below 2,000 meters. It usually looks smooth, dull, and featureless because the air is stable. Stable air resists vertical movement, so parcels of air do not keep rising into big towers. Instead, the cloud spreads sideways like a blanket. There are two common ways to cool the air enough for stratus. The first is gentle lifting. Air may rise slightly over low hills, along a weak front, or in a shallow coastal flow. As air rises, the pressure around it drops, so it expands and cools. This is called adiabatic cooling. The air does not need to surge upward like it would in a thunderstorm. A small lift can be enough if the lower atmosphere is already moist. The second pathway is advection, which means horizontal movement. Moist air can slide over a cooler sea surface, cooler land, or an already chilled coastal strip. The air cools from below, reaches saturation, and a low grey cloud layer can form. This is why coastal mornings in Australia can start with low cloud, mist, and drizzle, even when there is no dramatic weather system nearby. Tiny particles also matter. Cloud droplets form on condensation nuclei, such as dust, sea salt, smoke, or other small particles floating in the air. Near the coast, sea salt provides plenty of these surfaces, so marine air can turn cloudy quite easily. Temperature inversions help stratus linger. In a normal setup, air usually gets cooler with height. In an inversion, warmer air sits above cooler air near the surface. That warmer layer acts like a lid. It traps moisture in the boundary layer and stops the cloud from mixing upward. If the sun is weak, the stratus can hang around for hours. Fog and stratus are close relatives. If the saturated layer touches the ground, we call it fog. If it sits just above the ground, we call it stratus. The physics is much the same, but the visibility impact can be very different for drivers, pilots, and early commuters. Stratus usually brings light weather, not heavy rain. Its droplets are small, and the cloud layer is often shallow, so drizzle, mist, and damp roads are more common than a soaking downpour. If the layered cloud thickens into nimbus stratus, steady rain becomes more likely. You can read a stratus sky by looking for a flat grey sheet, a low cloud base, poor visibility on higher ground, and slow clearing after sunrise. If the cloud lifts and breaks during the morning, surface heating is probably weakening the inversion. If it stays locked in, the lower atmosphere is still cool, moist, and stable. So next time the sky looks plain and grey, remember that it is not empty weather. It is a sign that moisture, gentle cooling, and stable air have lined up near the surface.